All right, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of This About That with my boy Tyler. Tyler, how we doing?
Episode 4. Here we go.
Little hype, little hype. All right, yeah, I'm
A little
tired.
excited. A little excited about this one.
Yeah, yeah,
High
I'm
energy.
excited. Yes, yes,
Got
we're
some good
feeling
stuff
good. Got a
today.
lot of good stuff to talk about. So, yeah, we'll probably just get into it here. So I believe it was last weekend, or might have been this weekend. I think with the boxing world.
Yeah, this weekend. It was literally last night when we're
Yeah,
recording.
last night. Yeah.
We're
Last
recording
night.
this on Sunday, so yesterday was Saturday.
Yep. Yeah. Um, yep. So Tyson Fury has lost his belt, his heavyweight championship, or his heavyweight championship belt to Alexander Usyk. I believe that's how you pronounce his name. Um, Another highly touted heavyweight boxer for any of you boxing fans out there. I'm not really into boxing, but for most sports fans, everybody knows who Tyson Fury is. Everybody knows his legacy, what he's been through, and just how he's just an absolute beast in the ring. And he finally went down to another, like I said, another good heavyweight. Um, the score was first round 115 to 112 Usyk, and then the second was 114 to 113 Fury, and then the last round was 114 to 113 Usyk. After the fight, I guess people interviewed Tyson Fury. Tyson Fury said he thought he did everything to win that fight and that he deserved to win that one. I watched the highlights a little bit, and Usyk was getting him. There was at one point during the fight, I'm not sure the round. I want to say it was the second round. Don't quote me on it. I mean, it could have been 1, 2, or 3. I just saw highlights, and it was just a quick clip of just Usyk just. Oh my God! The ref saved him on.
He was getting smacked up pretty good. I saw that same clip you're talking about.
Yeah, exactly. And he just peppered him, dude. And he had him, knees weak, arms a heavy type of stuff. And the ref ultimately saved him. Tyson Fury didn't know what planet he was on, and he took a good few shots, and I think he dropped down, got back up, and was just getting after. The ref said, "All right, bring it back together. We're going again."
Yeah.
He just got peppered, and I think at that point the ref could have stopped the fight. But given Tyson Fury's circumstances and what he brings to the boxing game, I think they pulled that into his favor, knowing that he's gotten knocked down before and was able to come back and finish the fight, but not this time around. So I do know that there will be a rematch here in October once Tyson Fury heals up and gets back in shape again, and he's coming after a contract to Usyk to fight in October again. So we'll see those two battle it out in the ring again. Yeah, I'm not huge into boxing, but this is definitely a pretty big
Someone wanted to make
tournament.
sure we covered for sure.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's a huge turn of events in the boxing world, and a lot of people didn't think Tyson was going to go down at any time soon. And yeah, so it's kind of cool see a new champion, and then kind of really cool to see what Fury brings to the table for that fight, that rematch in October. See if he does anything different, or he sticks to the game plan. And hopefully, it goes his way. It was a close fight, like you said. I read out the scores. It was pretty even the entire fight. But ultimately Usyk got the win. So yeah, it was pretty cool, and we'll see what they can do in October and see if the results will be different. But kind of moving out of the boxing a little bit, we're going to go into the PGA Championship. There's been a lot of talk around one specific golfer that may or may not have had a little bit too much to drink. And did some questionable acts. Tyler, if you want to speak on that a little bit, that'd be wonderful.
Yeah, I don't think there was any alcohol involved, but there might as well have been. It seemed like at the golf course where the event was being held, Valhalla in Louisville, there had been a tragic accident that morning where a pedestrian had lost their life. And obviously, it's at that point, it's a crime scene, so police are directing people on where to go. Scotty Scheffler seems like he number one golfer in the world. Scotty Scheffler, just so everybody who doesn't know, got a little confused on what they were asking him to do. Took a little bit of a wrong turn, and a cop grabbed onto his car and went along for the ride. And then he ended up in a jail cell about 30 minutes later. And then they were able to get him out and get him going for his tee time, and he actually played really, really well. So
yeah.
kind of interesting.
That's weird because I thought it might have been alcohol induced.
No, it was like at 4 in the morning.
Damn. Okay, so it was just kind of one of those early morning
Mm-hmm.
incidents. He was just getting confused on the road a little bit, but yeah, that'll definitely set you back a little bit in the jail cell, the little county jail holder they probably had for a few hours. But I'm glad he got to make his tea time. And I'm not really up to date with golf, but have they PGA Championship? Who took the dub, or is it still
Xander Schauffele actually won it today? Bryson DeChambeau came in second. I'm not exactly sure where Scotty Scheffler ended up, but he did not win.
Gotcha. Did he at least finish top 10, or was it kind of he was just out of the race for a while?
But I think he was top 10 or 15. I think he might have been a little farther down there. But
I haven't been really up to date on the news of golf and who's doing what and who's winning. So I mean, only thing I really grew up was watching Tiger Woods and Phil Mickelson with my dad on the weekends. So that's the only thing I remember much about golf. But I know it's making kind of a turnaround here with the exciting players and the talent that the sport is bringing too, which is good. But yeah, did you have that pulled up or?
Yeah, I can't find him on here. I don't know what's going on. Let's see if we can find him.
Yeah, dude. Oh yeah.
Scotty Scheffler. Yeah, tied for 8th. So 13 under, and actually only had a bogey today to start out on hole number 1. So he actually played well again, but looked like everybody out there this weekend was playing really well. I think that course was a little bit easy on him. I think the winner was 21 under. So it's kind of crazy, but yeah, no, I mean, it was a good event. I didn't get to watch too much of it. I was pretty busy over the weekend, but I do keep up with whoever wins all these majors, and it looks like Xander had a pretty good weekend. But for going to jail and then getting released and making your tee time, 8th place ain't too bad, I would say.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like that would rattle a lot of people if they're sitting in a jail cell hours before they got to go tee off in a major sporting event, whether that be golf or pretty much anything. So, pretty outstanding that he was able to get there on time and perform well.
I'll have to try to give that a try next time I go golfing and see maybe if the arrest will help me a little bit.
Yeah, it might spark a fire a little bit, get you going. No need for coffee, just
exactly.
it's pure adrenaline. But kind of flipping the switch here because we kind of just are rattling through some new sports news. David Johnson, NFL running back, finally retires, I believe, this weekend after 8 years in the NFL. I know that name rings a bell, and I know you know who David Johnson is, and he was one of those guys that played at a smaller school in college. He played at the University of Northern Iowa, FCS school, one of those schools that's pretty well known for getting NFL prospects and good players, and he was definitely one of them. Just kind of looking at his stats here, just going over his career and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
He started at Northern Iowa in 2010 as a redshirt. Then in 2011, he rushed for 822 yards. And after that, it just kind of got way better for him. 2012, he rushed for 1,021, 2013, 1,286, and 2014, his last season before declaring for the draft, 1,553 career high, and was averaging over 5 yards a carry from 2012 on. And he's one of those guys that I think just kind of got swept under the radar for college scouts because I believe they said the only other offer he had was a another FCS school, Illinois State Redbirds, another small Division One school, and so he definitely went under the radar for college football, and lit it up at the FCS. You always see it every year of some guy out of a small school, whether it's a small FCS or even an FBS, non-power five, normally just light it up and get his name on those NFL draft boards. And he ended up, I don't know, he went.
Did he play his whole career in college? Did he go until he was a senior?
I believe he played. Yeah, looks like he played all 4 seasons, including a redshirt season in 2010. So,
Yeah.
yeah, he says he went back for his
Yeah.
senior
A lot
season,
of
which
these
was
guys, it's kind of
really
interesting.
good.
Even though they're going to these smaller FCS schools, they're like the senior bowls they play in or whatever, or where they
That's
kind
where,
of break
yeah,
out and shine, you know?
yeah, exactly. It's those bowls are huge for those small time players because University of North, most FCS schools, they're not getting the NFL prospects out there. They're not getting a huge crowd to each game, so but each game really counts because they got to be that much better to be able to
Yeah,
go
exactly.
into the NFL. And I believe David Johnson. Let's see, he got drafted in the third round, 86 overall, to the Arizona Cardinals, where he spent most of his career. At Arizona, he rushed for a career high in 2016 with 1239 yards, which is a pretty damn good season. And then had a decent year in 2018 with 940 yards rushing. He was one of those guys that just could not stay healthy. I was looking at a chart earlier of the pretty much the injuries that he induced. It was concussion, broken wrist, fractured finger, sprained MCL. The list goes on. So he just could not stay healthy, and pretty much he couldn't keep a consistent track. It was that 2016 season,
Right.
and then to 2018 was his only good seasons. The rest were just injury prone. You look at the stats; he's maybe rushing for 150 yards, 200.
Right.
Just because he's spending most of the season on IR. But David Johnson, I do remember him. I remember his season 2016. I mean, he left quite the
A lot of fantasy
mark, and
football.
then also a Pro Bowler in 2016.
Yeah.
So
A
he had
lot
a
of
decent
fantasy
year.
football sickos will remember him as well because he probably
Oh,
drafted him with their number one overall pick that year, and he tore his ACL. So
yep. Yeah, I remember playing fantasy back then. I don't even know how old we were, but I remember that name coming up all the time. And he had that really good season, which I think my dad might have had him in fantasy the year that he had his career high season. So that's pretty exciting. But other than that, his career was kind of just kind of a dud. Still an NFL running back nonetheless, but he didn't have probably as best of a career as he thought he would. Injuries are killer, especially at that running back level. I think most NFL running
if
backs
you're a
only
running back,
last.
and you become
Yeah,
look at Todd Gurley. I mean,
yeah. I mean,
talk about a tough break. I think he
yeah,
just turned 30. Like,
yeah, exactly. And he was a highly touted scout coming out of college into the NFL, and it's just like it's a bummer, with the injuries that you see, especially at the running back position. Those guys only last maybe 2 to 4 years on average, and no matter how good they were in college, I mean, you're just taking a beating when you get to that next level, and you just never know when's going to be your last. But yeah, David Johnson, 8 years in the league, which is pretty damn good considering the injuries that he sustained, but hell of a decent career for him, and enjoy retirement. But yeah, kind of getting into another topic here. So there's been talks about LeBron James' son declaring for the NBA draft, Bronny James. There's been talks pretty much around social media and other news platforms talking about how LeBron James wants to wait to retire so he can play with his son, which is totally understandable. LeBron James is 39. I think he's almost 40 years old. He's still doing the things he's doing, but I think he's kind of chasing a dream that's not really there anymore for him. I think he's proved quite a bit, and he's one of the best NBA players. I understand wanting to play with your son, so I totally get it. Um, I believe this past weekend or sometime last week they had like a
Combine.
NBA
Yeah,
scout combine type thing. I believe it was for
he
the
actually had a
Lakers.
pretty good combine. His game film looks terrible.
Yeah, the stats are rough. He was
Yeah.
there for 2 days and was 6 of 18, 4 rebounds, 2 of 9 on 3 pointers, and 3 of 5 on free throws. And
Well,
scouts were saying that he's has the same tendencies he had in college, which were um, pretty much not being able to play the long game and not really being able to finish at the rim. I don't know if that just comes with more time. I don't know if he's going to
yeah.
end up being on the same team as his dad, or if his dad's going to get a
Well,
contract or
what,
whatever team that he
yeah,
plays
exactly.
for.
That was the
But they're projecting him to be like pick number 50. I believe that's
exact.
what they're saying. So not really as highly touted as you might think. So what do you think is going to happen there? Do you think him and LeBron, father and son, going to end up on a team and make a run for it, or
It,
or what do you think is
it's
going to happen?
it's a hard one because it's like LeBron isn't getting any younger. Obviously, we know this, um, and the longer he goes, and I mean, I just feel like he might. I doubt anybody's worried about it, but tarnishing his legacy, right? I mean,
Mm-hmm.
think about like Jerry Rice on the Seahawks, like we were talking about the other day.
Yeah.
Like that's just a weird one that you kind of want to be like, man, like wish that never happened. You
Yeah.
know?
No. Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
Um,
So
I
it's
don't
just, but
really.
at the same time, it would be if you can stay around and help your kid get better and continue to grow, right? Like that's the dream, of course.
Yeah. Yeah, of
So
course, and I feel like there's a lot of pressure on the kid, and I feel like that adds to maybe not his dominant performance at that little combine they had, but being LeBron James' son, that legacy that he holds it's got to be gut wrenching at times and pretty tough, and you just don't really know
yeah,
what is going to happen. You don't know if this is going to be something that's going to be great in father son duo, and
yeah.
LeBron's going to get another spark and make a run and help out his son, which I think is his biggest thing. I think a lot of people put this under the rug is he cares about his kids,
Well,
cares
yeah,
about his
of
son. He
course.
wants to see
Yeah.
his son do well, even if that means that he's not going to be playing alongside him. He
Part of me
wants to see.
wonders what would happen if he wasn't LeBron's kid. That's the question that everybody asks. I feel like, and I don't think he probably would have been recruited out of high school. Like maybe out of high school, sure, but I don't think he would have gone to USC. I think he would have been in a small college. And I don't think he would have ever made it to the NBA.
Mm-hmm.
Just
Yeah,
to be brutally honest.
he at USC, I don't think he really had any breakout games or seasons. I know he had that heart problem where it caused him to collapse on the court, which is a pretty tragic
Yeah,
event
it's tough. Yeah.
and thing that happened. But I don't think he was very standout. I remember, you know, always looking at the teams before March Madness and the
Yep.
players and the impact, and he just was not on that list on
No.
any news articles or anything covering March Madness and the upcoming teams and
Yeah,
who to
he
look
just
out
wasn't.
for.
He wasn't that guy.
Yeah, and I think it just obviously it helps being LeBron James' son, and I think he'll hopefully live up to the name. But I don't know. I think it might be time for LeBron to either maybe step in and coach
Yeah.
and hang up the shoes, or make a run with his son and see what he can do. But at the end of the day, I feel like he's there for his son's best interest, even if that doesn't mean him playing alongside of him. So we'll see what happens. I think the kid's got a lot of room to grow and learn. Obviously, being LeBron's son, that
Yeah.
helps. So we'll see where that goes. One more thing I want to cover before we get into this tier list, ladies and gentlemen, surprise tier list here. Probably a tier list that's a little bit, sicko, a
Yeah.
little bit
Yeah.
sickening to
Yeah.
some. But before we get into it, I kind of want to cover the ending to the Boston and Tampa Bay hockey series. On Friday, the Panthers.
Panthers.
Sorry, Boston and the Florida Panthers. I don't know why I said Tampa Bay. They closed out that series. Florida won 2-1 against Boston.
Shout out Anthony. Shout out Anthony Thomas.
Shout out Anthony, dude. We love you, bud, but they just didn't have it in them. I saw this coming. I knew Florida was going to take that series. I know the hockey boys covered it a little bit and was pretty, brutally honest with just the fact that Boston just did not have it in them. They did not have that grit, and they did not. They got simply outplayed by the Florida Panthers, as Sean and Gally like to put it. And a lot of the Boston fans are not happy, right?
No.
Obviously,
Boston fans aren't happy.
Yeah,
This is shocking.
Exactly.
Revelation.
Yeah. The Boston fans are complaining about how they didn't get any calls and yada yada yada. And I saw some comments where some guys that were Boston fans came out and said, "Listen, we got outshot, we got outplayed. They simply were the better team." And it's just, I find it funny how it's been 2 years in a row where Florida has beaten the Boston Panthers in the NHL playoffs. And I found a comment under one of the Hockey Boys short clips on Instagram or TikTok where this kid's like, "I guarantee you we'll beat Florida next year." I was just like, well, you got a lot of time to ponder on that and muster up a plan and send it to the head coach, because I don't see it happening. I think Florida is Boston's kryptonite in the NHL playoffs, and I don't think they can get past them. And like I said in last episode, it comes down to depth, and I think who wanted it more. And Florida just came in and smacked them around, and I just don't think Boston really. I think Boston took them for granted, and I think they were good. They were looking for obviously a different outcome this go around, and we saw what happened.
I didn't realize before the series how many people hated Tkachuk. Like, I did not know that.
Oh, dude, people can't stand that kid. Oh, dude, he's I wouldn't say he's the dirtiest player, but he's definitely up there for a dirt ball. And
he's right up there with Marchand.
Yeah,
love that guy.
Exactly. But Boston fans won't admit that Marchand's a dirty little rat. But Tkachuk, dude, he's just a cheap shot, man. You'll see him fly around and get a lot of interference penalties, charging penalties, hitting and chirping and doing all that stuff after the whistle. And I think it's grit. I think it adds entertainment to the game. I think at some points it's excessive because he has definitely made a name for himself as being a dirty player in the NHL. But you can say the same thing as Marchand. I see Marchand. I've always watched that little rat every time he's on the ice, and he's always.
I can't stand him.
He's always
doing something. He's always up to something.
He's always up to something, dude. He's got his nose in the cheese, but he goes around. You just watch him the entire game. He goes around. He'll throw a little elbow at somebody mid ice. He'll hit somebody after the play, but he'll never drop the gloves. He never does it. And I think, like I said before, I think Marchand's a great player, but for Boston fans, and I guarantee you a lot of them were saying, "Oh, Tkachuk's dirty player and the refs were this," and I was just like, well, you guys just got outplayed, simple as that. Yeah, but I kind of wanted to cover that and still hone to my prediction of the Florida Panthers being the NHL champions, and I think they're out for blood, and we'll see if they can redeem themselves from last season. But let's go into our last segment here, which is going to take up a little bit of time. For all you people, we are doing a tier list of WWE wrestlers. Let me add this to the stage here real quick so we can kind of see what we're looking at. So Tyler is going to say a wrestler. He's going to say either this person is the GOAT, he's a great, good but not great, and then I think we said okay and then trash, correct?
Yeah. Not totally trash, and then just
not trash. Totally trash, and then just trash.
Yeah. So this is a sicko part.
This is a sicko.
If you like it, you're gonna love it. If you don't like it, you're gonna hate it. But this is our show. We'll do whatever we like.
For Zooch and Diego, this is right up your alley. I know you are going to be frothing at the mouth when you see this come out. And we might get a few heinous messages in the group chat from them not agreeing with us, but this is our list, and we're going to put it together for you guys. Yeah. So, who's the first wrestler that we're going to mention?
We have Seth freaking Rollins.
Seth Rollins, dude.
I think we're
Oh
gonna put him
man,
in good but not great.
I was thinking good but not great as well, dude.
Just because of the other guys on this list, we can't just throw him up there and great or
Yeah,
good.
there's
I think on the current
exactly
roster right now, he's probably one of the top 5 guys in the roster. But
sure.
as this it pertains to this list, he is just in good but not great.
Yeah, I think good but not great is a good, you know, ranking for him.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's entertaining. I think he brings a lot of just mouth to the game
Yeah,
of WWE, and I think he's like I said, good but not great. It has
yeah,
potential, but
yeah,
there's definitely some better wrestlers that have a way better legacy than him. So who's the
yeah.
next?
Next one we have the Great Khali.
Oh my goodness, dude,
Now,
that
for
big
me,
fucker.
he was a terrible wrestler. I think he's going straight in
He
the trash.
I think he was a terrible wrestler, but are we doing it based off of just like
Okay, Cody, you didn't
like
even speak English. You didn't speak English. Like, how good could he have been?
well, I mean
He crushed the
yeah.
watermelon that one time. That was kind of
Okay,
cool.
we got I think we can put him at not totally trash.
We'll go through the
Because
list
he
more
he brought
later.
entertainment, he was huge. Like he had the
All right,
great
all right.
Khali slap where
We'll
he
put him in
just
not totally trash. We'll put him in not
yeah,
totally
yeah,
trash.
yeah. I
Uh,
think
next one's gonna be Bret the Hitman Hart.
oh Bret Hart. Okay. I
I want to
think
put him in
he's
great.
at
I
I
don't
think
think
he's at
he's
great.
yeah. I don't think he's one of the goats.
He's not a goat, but he's great, and I think he definitely is over Seth Rollins.
Yep.
So I think putting him at that great slot is
Yeah,
perfect.
I agree. This one is gonna get a little heated. We have Triple H.
Oh my god, dude! One of my favorites growing up. I love that motherfucker,
I
dude.
want to put him in goat. I think he's one of
I think
the
he's
top
one of the
10 of all
goats,
time.
dude. I think his entrance is just phenomenal. I think he just brought so
Yeah,
much entertainment to the game.
yeah. He's
He
going in
he
goat. He's
he
going in
had
goat.
yeah, he's going and go. He had a little thing going on with Vince McMahon's uh, daughter, and that stirred up the pot a little bit. And it was great seeing him on the mic during that point. I think he's one of the goats.
Yeah, I mean, Degeneration X as well.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Speaking of which,
Um,
this tier list is missing Shawn Michaels.
that's a shame. We're gonna have to just put him in
Yeah, honorary goat Shawn Michaels.
honorary goat, Shawn Michaels. I mean, just that guy. I mean, he had to have the best party dust this side of the Mississippi, wherever the line is where he wrestled. I know they're all over the country, but that man was hitting the slopes, and
Mm-hmm.
and he
Oh
let
god,
that energy run out. And I love Shawn Michaels, dude. Definitely an underrated goat in my opinion. I think Shawn Michaels needs to be on this tier list, but he's not. So we're gonna put him up there honorary. Who is the next wrestler we got?
we have none other than Rob Van Dam.
Rob Van Dam.
And
I think he's good, but not great.
I agree with you 100%. I think he was
I
just right there. He was the guy for WCW, but
yeah,
he was not at the top level with these other guys.
like everybody knows Rob Van Dam, but no, like
Yep.
he's just not. He can't be the great, and he's not one of the goats in my
Yeah.
opinion. I think right in the middle is
Yep.
where
I
he's
agree.
good.
Next up, Chris Jericho.
Oh God, that dirtbag! I loved Chris Jericho, dude. I think Chris Jericho.
Not totally trash and good but not great.
I think good but not great is where he fits.
Yeah, I think so.
I could put him at great because I just loved him, dude. I think he just had a great personality. But I think good but not great is a good
Yeah,
way.
I think
Good
that's where we
way,
got to put him.
good
He had a
good to put him at
great move,
that.
Wall to Jericho, undefeated.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
he's good but not great.
I think that's a perfect level for him.
The Big Show.
I gotta put him at great, dude. I
You
gotta
want
put
him
him at great. I gotta put him at great.
just for, I feel like his longevity got him there. His
Yeah.
moveset might not have been crazy, but at the same time, though, putting Bret Hart and Big Show in the same category feels bad. But I like it.
I loved Big Show, dude. When he come out, it's just like, holy fuck, don't mess with that guy. And he was just so big and just tossed people around. And I think he was one of the
we
most
need another tier
entertaining.
here. We need like another tier.
Yeah, I think
Like,
so too.
great adjacent.
Yeah.
Ric Flair.
Ric Flair is one of the goats.
I think so.
No doubt in my mind. I
Limousine
mean,
ride,
that guy.
jet flying, kiss stealing, son of a gun.
Just that guy was on everything. I mean, that guy slammed a bottle of vodka, took a few perks, probably hit the
Yep.
dust a little bit before each
Yep.
match. I mean, he was pure entertainment and pure just
Yeah.
GOAT
And I think
status. I think that guy just literally embodied everything there was to be a WWE wrestler, an entertainer, a showman, whatever you want to call it. That guy was it. Ric Flair. Everybody knows who Ric Flair is. He's coming out with interviews and
yep.
with people on his experience. And man, is that guy one of the goats?
And I think just based off of how we have everything sitting here, we need to make a couple adjustments.
Sure.
I think Khali has to go down to trash.
Yeah, we'll throw Khali down trash. That's
I
fine.
think Jericho needs to come down and not totally trash.
Okay, all right. That's okay.
And then we move Big Show to great, good, but not great.
Okay, yeah, I can
Because
live
if
with
we're
that.
saying Bret Hart is a little bit less than Ric Flair,
Yeah.
then I think that Big Show's that. But I think we could honestly, I think we're going to keep Chris Jericho and
Okay.
good, but not great. I don't like.
I can deal with that. We'll keep the great Khali at trash.
Yep. We have the
Next,
next one is the phenomenal one, AJ Styles.
AJ Styles. See,
Not totally trash because of his run in TNA.
Yeah,
But
I don't know much about him, so I'm gonna say not totally trash. Just kind of as a really an unbiased and kind of going off of you because
Yep.
I don't really know who he is.
This is our next entrant in the trash category, and I will not be taking any prisoners with one. Kevin Nash, you absolutely suck.
Yeah, Kevin Nash deserves it.
And I hope he sees this. I know he's watching a bunch of shit about himself all the time. Fuck you, Kevin Nash.
Yeah, Kevin Nash, you're trash. All right, well, who's next?
Alberto Del Rio.
Not totally trash.
Too. I just saw him wrestling in a high school gym the other day.
Okay, so he's making about $8 and a large slushie to go with it.
This is one. This one I'm excited for.
Oh, I could see it. Oh yeah,
the Texas Rattlesnake.
Oh yeah, yes. You know where to put him.
Austin 316.
You know where to put him.
Stone Cold Steve Austin. You're going directly to the top, sir.
I had a beer. I had another beer. Dude, it's just that guy's American. Just WWE American. Just pure.
God damn it. He would catch two beers.
Pure eye candy to any sicko.
In the ring.
Yeah. Pure eye candy to any sicko, any wrestling fan, anybody that's ever had a history of watching wrestling knows Stone Cold. And that is enough said. He is one of the GOATs.
Baron Corbin, trash.
Hulk Hogan. You know where to put Hulk. He's up there on the GOATs, dude. That guy, just like Stone Cold, pure American, steroided up blood, and was pure, like I said, pure entertainer in the ring, and he knew how to draw the people in.
Dean Ambrose sucks too, so he's going to
trash. We can go trash.
CM Punk, I think he goes up to great.
Yeah, we can put CM Punk. That guy was just always in his name, a punk. That guy was just always around. He had a little stint in the UFC, and he's just one of those little gnats in the WWE, but he was so entertaining, and I remember him always.
He's back too, dude. He just came back to the WWE, and he just remember that one rant he went on, like historical. Talking to everybody, like. And let me tell you this about Vince McMahon and why he doesn't want and like they cut his mic off. He was like on a tear before he left there.
Yeah, I remember growing up watching him. I'm surprised the Hardy brothers are not on this list because that makes me a little upset. Those are one of my favorite duos. I think watching CM Punk growing up, he would always be wrestling the Hardy brothers, and that's my
the Hardy
biggest
brothers get an honorable great mention here.
I think so too.
Except for I think they might fall down to good but not great because of Jeff's drug problems. But I digress. We have up next Rey Mysterio.
I think that guy is a GOAT.
Call him Golden.
I think he's a GOAT.
So I don't think we can. Okay, here's my thing. I want to put him in great because do you put Rey Mysterio on the same level as Hulk Hogan, Stone Cold Steve Austin, Ric Flair, and Triple H?
Yeah, that's a tough one. Rey Mysterio, dude, for me, it was just like every week I was like, God, they're going to take off the mask. When I was just a little kid, come on, take off the mask.
Nightmare.
That guy
I would have cried.
He was so athletic, lean, small, just flew around the ring, and it was just almost like you just could not take your eye off him every time he'd step in the ring. That guy was one of my favorite wrestlers to watch growing up, and it was. I think they made his character really good, and the whole story behind it, which is cool. So I think great is good.
The Rock.
The Rock, I think, would be a great. I
You
don't
know,
think he's. I don't think he's a goat.
okay, I'll put him in. I'll put him in great,
I
and
think
I'm
you're
not going to
great.
argue with you, but we're going to get some hate on the comments for sure.
I think we're gonna get some hate for that one. I think Dwayne. I think he's right there at great. I don't think he's a goat, and
Yeah.
I don't know. I really can't explain it. It's just a feeling I get
I don't
just
know though,
watching
dude.
him.
I mean, this is all personal preference too, so it doesn't really
Yeah,
matter what anybody else thinks. This is what we think.
yeah.
Daniel Bryan, I'm going to put him in good, but
Ooh,
not great.
yeah. I like Daniel
I
Bryan,
didn't
dude.
love his title runs.
Yeah, he was
The Yeah
cool.
movement was cool, but I wasn't a huge fan of Daniel Bryan's.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
The rated R superstar Edge.
Oh, Edge has got to be up there for at great. I
I'm
think.
putting him at great too.
I
I
think he
love
was
Edge.
like I said, just he was entertaining as well. I think he was one of those wrestlers that I also watched growing up, and he was I think he was great, but not goat level status. I think he was an entertaining guy to watch as well.
Yeah, dude was doing some nasty work back in like 2011. Remember when they had him making out with like Vicky Guerrero every week? That was crazy.
Yeah, dude,
Wild.
that was the best. That was WWE right there. That was just pure class, pure entertainment, memes. That's what Edge is. Edge is a meme, but he's a good wrestler. Who do we got next? John Cena.
Straight to go.
Straight to goat. John Cena. You can't see me freestyling with the fans in the crowd. That guy, actor, WWE star, can squat 600 pounds. He is the All-American winning machine, and I love John Cena, dude. I loved watching him growing up. That guy was
awesome. We have Kane.
Good, but not great. Might get some hate on that one just because of his pure. I think having one of the best entrances in all WWE, but he wasn't that good.
We have Kane on here twice, or we're gonna put him in the same one. I don't know why that is.
Yeah, we'll just
That's
that was weird.
Yeah. Brock Lesnar.
I think he's a great.
Yeah, I think so too.
He's a great.
Him with Paul Heyman is just dynamite.
Brock Lesnar was a ticking time bomb in anything that he did. He just exploded on people. Had a little run as a practice squad player in the NFL, UFC. He did it all. So I think he definitely deserves to be at that great spot.
Yeah.
Is that Kurt Angle?
That's Perk Angle.
Perk Angle. Oh my goodness. He's Angle,
great.
I think deserves to be great. A lot of that meme platform that he's taken upon with that zoom in picture of him, I think it's just brought his name back up a little bit.
Yeah.
But I think Perk Angle deserves to be at that great spot.
I love Perk Angle, man. He's my profile picture on Xbox, so that tells you anything. The Viper, the Legend Killer, Randy Orton.
Randy Orton, dude. Oh my god, I think he's great too.
The three greatest letters in sports entertainment: RKO, the greatest finisher probably of all time. He will hit you with that thing out of nowhere. He once RKO'd Stephanie McMahon in the middle of the ring. He did do that. You know what? I think we put him at GOAT status just because of my childhood growing up being absolutely fear running through my blood when I would watch Randy Orton when I was a kid. I was like, God, that guy's scary. He had a lot of problems. We won't get into that. I know he had some problems outside of the ring a little bit with his anger, I believe, but we won't get into that. We'll go on to the next. Yeah, a little
is
bit. Is
that Ray Bautista? I see.
That is Dave Bautista.
Better known I said Ray. Wow.
Okay. Hey, he had some great matches with Rey Mysterio. We're gonna put him.
Ooh, I think he could be up there at great.
Look at the guys we have up here. I don't think he's on their same level.
Yeah, you know what? I feel like good but not great is fine, but I don't know. I liked Batista. I think he was an underrated wrestler, but I think that's fine.
Hey, we can move him up. We'll move him up.
Okay, yeah, I think he can
Great.
bounce around for
Rowdy
sure.
Roddy Piper, I hate to do this to him. I wasn't a big fan of his work. I'm putting him in not totally trash.
Yeah, I don't know too much about him. I've heard his name a few times, obviously, because you watch the old school documentaries and interviews, and guys will talk about him. But I didn't know too much about him, so I can't really put him
Yeah, neither
above
did
not
I.
totally
I
trash.
think, yeah, I think he was just okay. Obviously, Undertaker trash.
Ooh, whoa, whoa.
I'm kidding. He's a goat.
Oh, I was about to say, I was like, yeah. When he just come out of the casket, God, dude,
the
that shit
whole video in the
sent
car, dude.
shivers down my
Yeah,
spine as
or
a
like he'd
child,
get
dude.
dropped on his head by somebody, be like, "Oh my god, they just hit him with a skull-splitting jackhammer," and he's
Yeah,
like
or what?
on the ground, he's all bleeding and stuff. The other guy's
Yeah,
like, "Oh my god, I can't do it anymore." And Undertaker just goes like this, and
yeah,
then he
dude.
plays later. He's like, "Oh fuck."
Or when the guys are just talking shit in the ring, and all of a sudden the whole thing goes black, and you're like, yeah, he's coming out, he's going.
Yeah,
Uh, and we got last but not least,
Mick
God,
Foley,
Nick
aka Mankind, aka Dude Love, aka Cactus Jack. This man had
Foley.
a billion different names.
That guy is just a lumberjack, and
He's awesome.
and I think he was a phenomenal wrestler at his time. Entertainer, I think great is exactly where you put him.
Now
I
let's
don't
do
think he's
some
up there at the goats,
retrospective.
but
Let's do some retrospect here. Who can we move down a little bit? I'm thinking we move Jericho down.
yeah, well,
You
yeah,
don't
we
like
can
it?
put. I feel like Jericho
Yeah.
had a little bit.
And then retrospectively, I think we got to move The Rock up.
Okay, I
Just
can deal
because
with that.
I remember when I was a kid watching The Rock against when he was doing those late feuds with Cena, he did the back-to-back WrestleManias and him and Stone Cold. There is no Stone Cold really, I don't think, without The Rock, because they had some legendary feuds.
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
I think this is right.
I think this is
I mean, I
good.
think we could maybe move Randy Orton down. I don't want to. I like him up there.
I
But
think that's perfect, and I think a lot of people would agree with this list. I think there'll definitely be some shakeup with some, but I think this is a pretty accurate list for tier from goats to trash.
who would you put at your if there was another tier up here, Mount Rushmore, who are the four you're putting up there?
I'm putting Stone Cold.
Mhm.
I'll probably put Stone Cold, Hulk Hogan, John Cena, and probably The Undertaker.
Okay, that's probably exactly my list, except for I don't think I liked. Uh, I'd replace Hogan with The Rock probably because
Yeah,
I wasn't big.
that's fair.
Hulk Hogan had some choice decisions made outside of the ring.
Yeah, he did. He did.
He's lucky he's up here for me right now.
Yeah, a lot of these wrestlers come out with some stuff.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah,
that
seriously.
is a good tier list for anybody that's going to be watching. If you want to go and do this yourself, put in the comments who you think is the goats, greats, good but not great, not totally
Yeah.
trash, and let us know.
Or tell us
Obviously,
one person who we got dead wrong and tell us why you think that. I know there's
exactly.
probably some diehard Rowdy Roddy Piper fans out there, and you probably think this is ridiculous. But you guys let us know what you think, and
Yeah,
this is all for us today, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
This is going to be wrapping it up here.
Yeah.
Like we say in previous episodes, thank you for watching. Please subscribe at Settle Down on YouTube. Follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and watch out for this video dropping. Should be dropping sometime Tuesday morning. And
Yep.
we appreciate you guys watching. And that's it.
Yeah.
We'll see you guys next time.
Don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, and share.
Yes, please do it. Thank you guys.
Family members.
Yes, send it everywhere.
You have to. I don't care.
Yeah.
We need viewers, please. I'm begging you.
We do. Thank you. We need them.